Good evening. I'm Chief Meteorologist Chris Holcomb from the 11 Alive Weather Impact Team. It is Tuesday evening, right at 9 o'clock, and it's time for our extended weather discussion, talking about some really beautiful weather that we're dealing with today. And you know, we had a cold front that moved through earlier. Limited moisture with it. There was no rain with it at all. The only moisture with it was a few clouds that we had around early this morning. Those clouds moved out. We had some sunshine for the second half of the day, and the wind, though, really did start whipping up today thanks to that front passing through, and it was a shift in that wind direction and also some of the wind speeds that were kicking up as well. But now that those clouds from earlier have cleared out, we saw the sunshine this afternoon. We're going to see plenty of sunshine over the next couple of days as we're really entering into a prolonged dry pattern for the next few days, really through the end of the week. And for most of the weekend, it is going to stay dry. We'll break down those rain chances for you coming up in just a little bit. The other thing we're watching is that even though that cold front did drop our temperatures a little bit today, made it feel a little cooler compared to what it was yesterday, we will see some gradual warming. It is going to be a chilly start tomorrow morning. Then we start warming a little bit during the day, similar to where we were this afternoon. And then after that, each and every afternoon will continue to warm just a little bit more. And then not only is it going to be a little warmer, we're talking about hot temperatures here by the weekend with highs that are going to be going up into the mid 80s, even some upper 80s in spots for Saturday as well as on Sunday. The other thing we're dealing with, the pollen. And those numbers are coming back up. And I'm going to show you the calendar here in just a second so you can kind of see the trends that we're watching out there right now. But today's pollen count was 1515, and the main pollens were from trees, and those were mulberry, oak, pine, and sycamore. Now, a lot of people have been asking about this, the pine. That is the thick coat of yellow that we had when we had those really high numbers and everything was just coated with the yellow. That's the pine pollen. That part has already peaked. However, the pine pollen isn't over yet. You might still be seeing a little bit of that yellow still out there, just not as thick as it was. So I've had a lot of people asking me, okay, Chris, can I wash off the deck? Can I wash off the porch? Can I wash off the outdoor furniture? Am I going to be wasting my time, or are we going to see more of this thick yellow pollen on it? Well, I don't think it'll be thick, but you still might get some of the lighter bits of pollen on it, some of that little bit of yellow. I noticed my car has a little bit of it on there, but it's not as thick as it was. So I'll tell you what I did. I did put out, so I took in our cushions and put them inside during the peak of the season. I did bring those back out because I wanted to use them this weekend when it was so nice out there. But I didn't bring everything out. I just brought as little as I could just to enjoy the nice weather over the weekend. And then later this week, I'm going to bring everything else out. I think we're going to be a little bit safer after that. But just know that the pollen numbers are kind of still going up and down a little bit, but we're nowhere near those crazy numbers that we had at the end of March and beginning of April. Now, this was a crazy number, 11,000. But remember, the day before this, on Saturday, actually on the Saturday, yes, of March, that last Saturday of March, that's when we had the record-breaking pollen count of 14,000. So that was really when it peaked. And then after that, that first week of April, we saw those numbers staying in the thousands, and a lot of that was from the pine pollen that was covering everything up. Then we had the rain that came in on that Sunday, brought us down to 86 for a pollen count on Monday the 7th. And then we started coming back up a little bit. But what we were dealing with, though, were some days with cool temperatures, some days with a little bit of rain. And so with the cooler temperatures, those numbers have been a little bit lower. We did have a high yesterday in the 80s. That brought today's number back up to 1515. Today was really windy, though, and that could stir things up. So I'm really going to be interested in seeing what tomorrow's number is going to look like here, whether or not that's going up because of the wind, or if it's going to go down because of the cooler temperature. So again, the pollen season isn't over yet, but the really thick yellow pollen, that has already peaked. That's the pine pollen. Now tomorrow, just know it's going to be cool. We're going to see temperatures that are going to be going down into the 40s in the morning, and the time frame where it's going to be coolest is from 3 in the morning till about 9 in the morning. And really the low temperature usually occurs right around sunrise. That's when we have that coldest part of the day. So tomorrow, you're going to have to dress in layers because you'll be shedding some of those layers during the day. It's going to be cool in the morning, but then once we get into the afternoon hours, we're going to see those temperatures that are going to be warming up a little bit into the lower 70s, pretty similar to where we were out there for today. Take a look at radar. Now, you'll see here that we have mainly, we have dry conditions all over our area. We don't have any rain around at all here. Now, I know you're seeing a little bit showing up on the south side. That is not really rain. Those are some false echoes that we often get at this time of the night. With just a little bit of moisture that might be out there, but it's definitely not rain here in those areas at all. You can kind of see that down to the south. Then as you widen out a little bit more, you'll notice here that we do have a few clouds that came through the area today, and that was in association with that front that moved through. That front, though, has pushed down to the south, and as it has moved down to the south, we're watching the clouds in association with it also moving away. So that brought in a lot more sunshine for the afternoon hours today. This morning, it was kind of cloudy out there as the front was passing through. Then the winds started whipping up coming out of the north and west. Cooler air started moving in, and those clouds moved away to give us a little bit more sunshine. In fact, take a look at the almanac for today. We actually made it up to 73 degrees for our high temperature later this afternoon. Our low this morning was 63, so that was milder than what it should be for the morning, but then our afternoon high of 73 was 1 degree lower than it should be. We haven't had any rain, not only today, but we're still watching that rainfall deficit as it is growing. We're more than an inch below where we should be in rainfall for the year. Now, when you look at that low and high, this is when those numbers occurred. We had those temperatures this morning that were in the 60s. Those were the lows from earlier this morning. And then we started rising through the day, eventually topping off there at 73 degrees this afternoon. And then it held at 73 for a few hours. Now those temperatures are dropping back down, getting to about the levels that we were early this morning. In fact, you can see our temperature right now is 63 here in town. A little cooler in the outlying areas. We've got more 50s here on the south side, like in Peachtree City and in Covington, temperatures in the 50s, Carrollton in the 50s, Marietta in the 50s, more 50s up in North Georgia, but we have a few of those lower 60s still kind of peppered in there as well. And these temperatures cooler than we were at this time last night. Same thing for the afternoon. Today, our temperature was running about 10, 11 degrees cooler than it was yesterday. And right now we're 12 degrees cooler than it was at this time last night. Look at Marietta. You're 17 degrees cooler right now than it was at this time yesterday. Canton and Gainesville, you're at 14 degrees cooler than it was just 24 hours ago. And through the day tomorrow, we start off on the cool side once again, down to about 45 degrees to start. And then we start warming pretty nicely through the day. Remember, today's high was 73. We're going to be similar to that tomorrow, getting up to about 72 degrees for a high. Plenty of sunshine around. It will be a little breezy at times, not as blustery as it was out there for today. So just expect some breezes, but just not as windy as it was out there today. And we are entering into a little more of a prolonged dry pattern. We are not expecting any rain Wednesday, Thursday, Friday or Saturday, and even the rain chance on Sunday is really low. Now, I don't want you to be overly stressed about Easter Sunday and a rain chance there, because right now it's only 20%. And really, we're putting it on there because there is a chance, but not all the models are in agreement on the rain chances for Sunday. So we may be taking that out. It's just kind of an iffy thing right now. Once we're getting a little more confidence with our computer models and there's more agreement there, we'll know whether or not we keep the 20% or if it goes up. But really, if anything comes in on Sunday, I'm thinking it's going to be later in the day, and the better chances for any rain would be on Monday as well as on Tuesday. Here's the forecast track. And there's not a lot going on here on this forecast track because we have a high pressure in control, and it's not really showing anything moving into our area. This takes us to early tomorrow morning at about 7 o'clock, where we still have that northerly flow, all right? So still reinforcing some cooler air moving into our area. And again, some of those breezes coming in from the north and west, just not as breezy as it was out there today. today, but plenty of sunshine. And then here we go to 5 o'clock in the afternoon, still a northwest flow. Temperatures about where we were today, going up to about 72, maybe 73 degrees for a high temperature tomorrow with the dry conditions. Then on Thursday, there might be a couple of more clouds around, but I'm not really concerned about any rain moving into our area on Thursday. This is in the morning. You can see the afternoon, again, that mixture of sunshine and clouds, but notice the arrows, instead of coming out of the north and west, they're coming in from the south and east. And with that more of a southerly component to that, that's going to transport some warmer air back into our area, and you'll feel those temperatures gradually warming up as we go through the week and also into the weekend here. And then on Friday, partly cloudy skies, still that southerly component there, those arrows here coming out of the south, and that's going to transport some of those warmer temperatures our way. We're talking about 80s for the end of the week, mid 80s here for both Saturday and on Sunday. So here's a look at the low temperatures. Cool to start on Wednesday, right at about 45 degrees. And then Thursday, 49. Friday, 53. So in the mornings, temperatures each day get a little milder and milder. And as we see a few more clouds mixing in with that sunshine, which is what I think we're going to be dealing with on Sunday, it's going to be milder in the morning at 62. So if you're going to a sunrise service on Easter Sunday, it's going to be cool, but not cold out there. It's actually going to be kind of mild for this time of year for the morning hours. But also what we're going to be fine-tuning getting closer to Easter Sunday is if we're going to have clouds blocking out that sunrise on Easter Sunday morning. Still kind of too early to pinpoint that right now. The models are indicating some clouds around, but we'll wait and see once we get a little bit closer here if it is going to be a cloudy sunrise on Easter Sunday morning. And then look at these afternoon high temperatures. Those are also going up each and every day, moving up a little bit more. In fact, we're at 72 here on Wednesday, then going up to 76 Thursday, 83 on Friday, 86 for a high on Saturday and on Sunday. So that's going to be well above the average here for your Easter weekend. Now, here's what we're watching with any potential rain chance. This is the European model. It is holding back on any rain chances really for Sunday. The American model, or the GFS model, is being a little more aggressive with rain chances for Sunday. So that's what we're going to have to kind of balance out over the next couple of days to see how these models, if the GFS scales back on the rain chances or if the European starts thinking, okay, we might have some. So that's going to be our challenge over the next few days. But here's a look at the European model for Thursday. A few clouds around, not worried about any rain here. On Friday, partly cloudy skies. Again, those winds coming out of the south, keeping us very mild. Saturday, partly cloudy skies. And that's the day we think we're going to be getting up to around 86 degrees. And then here we go on Sunday. We think that we're just going to be dealing with mainly clouds early on, maybe some sunshine breaking through. This is about 2:30, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. No rain here. But later on Sunday, on Easter Sunday, if we get any rain at all, we think it's going to be later in the day. And here's the European model, not showing much here. It is showing a better chance for some rain on Monday and also into Tuesday. We're going to be fine-tuning those chances for you as well. This is just what we're seeing, this far out in advance, about 6 days out now. And then on Tuesday, holding on to a lower rain chance. In fact, right now we've got 30% in for next Monday, 20% chance in for Tuesday. And again, we'll be fine-tuning those percentages once we get more data in. This is showing a better chance mainly south of the city on Tuesday, but that's still a week out. So we'll be fine-tuning that as we get closer to it. So here is a look at everything put together here in your 7-day outlook, where you see those temperatures cool in the morning at 45 degrees. Then we get up to 72 in the afternoon. We're going to see some sunshine here during the day, a lot of it, with those temperatures feeling really nice. Then going into Thursday, a low of 49 with highs near 76, and just a couple of more clouds are going to be mixing in with that sunshine at times. By Friday, partly cloudy skies. That's when we think we're going to be getting up into those 80s, right at about 83 degrees for the afternoon hours here on your Friday. Saturday and Sunday, all right, Easter weekend, it's going to be warm. So if you have plans for an Easter egg hunt, the family getting together out in the backyard or at your house, just know it's going to be warm. Temperatures up to 86 on Saturday. Then on Sunday, Easter sunrise services, mild, temperatures around 62 with a few, right now it looks like we might have some clouds around early on Sunday, but I'm not concerned about any rain based on what we're seeing now in the models. Any showers or any raindrops can be later in the day on Sunday, highs near 86. And then Monday is a better chance for rain at 30%, then 20% on Tuesday, as highs go back to 83 on Monday, then 81 here for your Tuesday. So just know that we're going to be watching this forecast for you very carefully. I know every weekend is important, but when it's a holiday weekend, that's even more important out there. We'll let you know if we see any changes in the models and how that could impact you going into the Easter weekend. We hope you have a great day. Thanks so much for watching.